Welcome to the Nightly Rant
with
your hosts, Mike
and Toria.
This is the show where we examine society from a sarcastic point of view.
If you like insane conversations, this is definitely the show for you.
Let's get into today's topic. YPN people, I don't know about you, but I love helping out a friend. That's why I want to shout out my friend Brian Little and his podcast, Your Favorite Blockhead. This is the only show that manages to weave together peanuts and MMA into one heck of an amazing podcast. You can find Your Favorite Blockhead wherever your favorite podcasts reside and at yourfavoriteblockhead.com. Do me a huge favor and listen to Brian's show. You'll be entertained and you'll help out a friend. Now, as I said, let's get into today's topic.
Did you know that our president is completely clueless?
He's a houseplant.
This guy, right after New Year's weekend, this guy had spent time with friends, and he comes back and he tells the press, yeah, my Jill had somebody over, some family over that were friends, and they were telling us, you know how much a pound of ground beef is over $5 a pound now?
Nope.
And he goes, I didn't know this. I didn't know this. How does the president of the United States not know the cost of ground beef? I mean, I know how he doesn't know.
Because he's
but that was a rhetorical
only
question.
a figurehead. He is literally a houseplant in the office because somebody else is pulling all the strings and calling all the shots.
Yeah,
Okay.
this guy especially. You're not wrong about that. I mean, I think most presidents have some piece of that,
Influencers. Yeah.
but I think he is that.
I don't think there's any Joe Biden in Joe Biden's policies. I think it's all the string pullers.
Yeah, and they happen to be far left.
And I think most presidents are probably like 75-25.
So, speaking of far left, interesting people, remember Elizabeth Warren? You know, Trump called her Pocahontas.
Right, because she's 1056th, some kind of Cherokee.
She tried to claim that she was a Cherokee Indian.
Right.
And, she's like, like you said, 2567th of a, Cherokee.
2056th.
Okay, whatever. I'm close enough. 1 point, I'll give it to her. But that does not make you a Cherokee.
No.
It just doesn't.
Just like when I did my 23andMe, the Neanderthal DNA markers that I have that are slightly above normal average, which is probably why I have this demon brow. Anyway, the Neanderthal markers that I have that are slightly higher than average do not make me a Neanderthal.
All right.
Just in the morning.
But this is true. That's exactly what I'm saying. Well, yeah, you're kind of grumpy in the morning. That's true. You should see her when we go to the gym. It's one day I should secretly record all of it. It would be hilarious.
I'd be much friendlier if you just wouldn't talk.
But here's the problem. Like, I could record it, but I would never release it to the public because she would have to tell me it was okay.
And then you'd have to admit you recorded me.
And I'd admit that I recorded you. I would never hide that from you. I would admit it. But what I'm saying is I wouldn't publicly release it without your approval. Never, ever, ever, ever would I do that.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. And so, it's kind of like, then it becomes, what's the point? Because if in my head, I think to myself, there's no way she's going to want to release this,
right,
then why even do it? It's not even point. There's no point in doing it. So
anyway, back to Elizabeth Warren and away from
Elizabeth Warren comes out and says, because Elon Musk was declared Time Man of the Year.
Was he?
Yep. Man of the Year. Elon Musk.
That's pretty cool.
The alien from outer space.
Elon
Musk.
He's the weirdest person known to me.
One of the most genius businessmen ever.
If 30 years from now it came out that he was actually an alien, nobody would be even 1% surprised.
I don't think anyone would even flinch. No, I don't.
No.
I don't think they would flinch. But he was made Man of the Year, and she said maybe we should change the tax codes so that the Man of the Year has to actually pay taxes. And she basically called
So
me.
she threw some ultimate shade.
Yes. Now, the woman who gets paid off of taxpayers' money was complaining that the guy running the company that gets subsidized by the government gets subsidized by the government. You know, the government she helps run and bill subsidies that she voted yes on.
Right. Because she's a Democrat and Democrats are pro subsidizing
Yes.
green energy.
Yes.
I
So
understand.
there you go. Like, it's my whole point, right?
Right.
But then Musk, refused to be a puppet. And he has more libertarian views anyway.
Well, yeah.
But he refused to be a puppet. And so Biden ignored him. And so when they did the summit for green cars, he didn't invite Tesla. Can you imagine? You don't invite Tesla?
What an idiot.
So anyway, she's talking about how he doesn't pay any, you know, he doesn't pay any taxes, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, here's the thing. Elon Musk's tax bill is based off of like three or four things. And the biggest chunk of which is selling off stock options. Okay. So, you know, he'll have stock options, and I know when I've had stock option deals, his could be totally different people, but I know when I had stock option deals, it was kind of like you were allowed to cash out early on any stock options that you had, but the max you would get was like 75% of current market value. So if it was worth $100, you'd get 75. That's the best you'd get per share. That was it. And that was kind of your interest, I guess you'd say, for pulling the money out early. Anyway, he paid an estimated 52.65% income
Which amounted
taxes.
to how much
That
money
was his
last
tax
year?
rate. That was his tax rate, which was like $11 billion. Okay. 52.65%. Now, Elizabeth Warren, who is paid with taxpayers' money, made in all of her investments and everything else. This is why people talk about corruption, right? Remember how long she's been around? She made $12 million, and she paid a whopping $5,000 in taxes for a whopping tax rate of 0.04%. Now, can we talk about what a hypocritical biatch Elizabeth Warren is? Can we talk about that?
So she's the one who is all tax the rich, like they all are. Tax the rich.
Hell yeah.
Everybody should pay their fair share. Donald Trump needs to release his tax returns. He didn't pay his fair share. Elon Musk is a piece of crap. He didn't pay his fair share. Well, checkmate, lady, because you didn't pay your fair share, and Elon Musk paid more than 50% of his earnings in taxes last year.
Yeah.
Eat a dick.
He didn't even keep the majority of the money he himself earned.
That man earns a crap load of money.
That's because his company keeps going up, 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 and he negotiated a mostly stock options deal. Smart guy. Why not? Because you can, guess what? I could sell those stock options today for 75, and they might, because they're worth 100, and they might drop down to 50 overnight, and I made a lot of money. You know, it's smart.
Yep.
So,
Wow,
get-
Elizabeth Warren can eat a dick, can't she?
yeah, I'm just like, come on. You cannot stand there and lecture other people on their ethics. So
And paying their fair share.
now there's some people that are going to say, well, you know, maybe she didn't realize that he paid that much in taxes.
I'm sorry, but it's your job.
But
If
it's
you're
kind
gonna
of
call
like,
somebody out,
exactly. If you're going to call him out, you need to know. But here's the thing, you know, so what if she didn't know, right? Like she knew that she didn't pay the taxes. The bottom line, did she or did she not know that? Yes, she knew because she writes the check. So
I haven't heard you say that she apologized to Elon Musk.
no,
yet.
she didn't. And here's what happened. This is what made it even worse, in my opinion. Then when someone tweeted out that Elon Musk paid, you know, 11 or 12 billion dollars in taxes, and that's the single largest tax bill in United States history. Elizabeth Warren's response was, why are we worrying about what percentage of his income a billionaire paid? We need to make sure that all of the extremely wealthy pay their fair share. And
You called him out by name. That's why it's relevant,
Yeah.
lady.
And not only that, the comment that she made, if I was Elon Musk, I would have called her out right there. You only
surprised he didn't, 'cause he
paid
usually does.
$5,000 on 12 million. Well, when he hasn't, it's because he's got a big bomb that he's preparing, if you ask me. But that's what the battle was, and it pissed me off because It's so hypocritical. It's so hypocritical, though. Like, you know me. I could disagree with both sides.
Which
I could disagree with both sides, which in
regularly.
this case, I kind of do disagree with both sides. But I could disagree with both sides. And I could still defend his right to not have her treat him like that. And her owing him an apology. Because she does. She owes him an apology, in my opinion. She was rude, and she's lucky that he doesn't sue her for slander
You never know. Maybe that's what's coming.
or libel. Maybe that's why he hasn't said anything back.
Because maybe he's just waiting to see if he's actually damaged by what she said. Because there are people who would sell their stocks in Tesla if they heard that Elon Musk didn't pay his fair share of taxes.
There's a lot of people that would do that. I'm not one of them, but I mean, there's a lot.
I
of
really
people
like
that.
my Tesla shares. They just keep going up and up.
And
and
I
up.
think no one should pay taxes. You know, I mean, I think that it should be abolished the law. You know, the whole income tax law. Just go back to excise tax if there's got to be any taxes. I still could argue that there doesn't need to be taxes, but
But
one thing that does make me, I'm just going to be honest here, because I didn't expect to go here, but that was the whole Elon Musk, Elizabeth Warren feud. And it took that extra step of her like acting as though she never said anything,
Right.
and that they were focusing on the wrong thing, wrong part of the issue, when she was the one who completely effed up and should have said something back. But anyway, now I think I forgot what I was going to say.
that's not surprising.
What was I about to say?
I have no idea. I don't live inside your head.
Wow, that's too bad you don't live inside my head, because it's an interesting place. It is.
Seems like a place filled with lunacy.
But this guy Musk has balls,
Big ones.
because I mean that's a United States senator. I mean, she has power. But see,
Do you know
she
what
doesn't
Elon
really
Musk
have,
would
but
do?
she doesn't really have power over him, because Elon Musk, didn't he move to Texas, his company?
Correct.
So he gave her the big FU to California, because ain't nothing she can do to him in California.
Well, and also, Elon Musk's wife is a Canadian citizen. So,
Really?
if the U.S. government...
His wife is strange.
super strange. We don't need to affiliate her with Canada ever again.
Yeah.
Anyway, if they wanted to, they could move Tesla to a different country.
Yeah. Yeah, but just looking at what we looked at today, Jiminy Crickets, I can only imagine what it would be like at that size.
You think somebody who paid $11 billion in taxes last year really cares? Do you not think Canada would be like, come on?
But think about what that
buddy.
says for his performance as a CEO. Because that's why he has so much money. He's getting it off the stock options. That's where he's getting most of his money. In fact, he was selling off stock, and the media was incorrectly reporting that he was trying to tank the price. He wasn't trying to do any such thing. He was trying to get his cash out.
Other countries have no shame in taking companies from the United States. Look at Burger King, who migrated themselves to Canada. Why? Because the government here was dicking with them.
Yeah.
If Burger King,
It was right before the Trumpster came around.
Yeah,
like
yeah, because they
maybe
bought
2
Tim
years.
Hortons. And
Wasn't it like 2 years before, right?
It was right before I moved here.
Yeah, so it was like 2014 when it happened. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah.
And the Canadian government was, sure, we can cut this red tape for you. You're a big company. You're going to pay lots of taxes to us. Of course, we'll just slice through this red tape for you. Do you not think they would do the same thing for Tesla? Or more? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I agree
Elon
with
Musk, move to Alberta, my friend. The energy capital of Canada. Move there.
you. Wow.
Basically Texas, but in Canada.
That's all I got for you. My rant has run its course.
I kind of killed it with my Canada rambling.
Angry. I'm angry. And I said why I'm angry. And I'm just going to be repetitive if I say it again. So I'm not going to say it again. I'm done. So.
You can take your anger to bed then. Good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye, psychopaths.
Thank you for listening to the Nightly Rant.
If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Play.
If you didn't enjoy the show, please just ignore that previous request for a rating.
This has been a Yogi's Podcast Network production.